This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. How intriguing is this week's tabloid fodder? Catherine, the Princess of Wales, graces the cover, but not all is as it seems. The public's appetite for Meghan Markle definitely has waned, as she no longer is selling magazines, and after this week's Vanity Fair disaster, no one wants to touch her. This has given rise to what seems to be a calculated manipulation. The coverage of Catherine and the royal family has taken a less than flattering turn. We know that in the US, Star magazine and the UK Closer magazine have become Meghan's outlets of choice for self-promotion or to cast the royal family in a negative light. In this video today, we're going to delve into these two magazines to illustrate this point. The manipulation is so blatant, it's almost as if this is her new strategy to remain in the spotlight. Let's start with the Closer magazine article, which is so outlandish, it's bound to give us all a good chuckle. I'll read this one aloud because it's just too humorous to pass up. As for Star magazine, while equally absurd, I'll only touch on a few key points. So settle in and let's dive into this world of sensationalism. But before we do, please don't forget to hit that like button and check your subscription status in case YouTube has played one of its tricks again. Here we go. Shock stateside showdown. Kate's emotional dash to beg Harry, come home with me. What's really funny about this is that there's actually people out there that believe that this is what's going on. So right out the gate, this UK tabloid magazine continues to call Catherine, the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton. As I go through this, you will see these subtle little petty digs that only one person could be behind. The so-called Fab Four of Prince William, Kate Middleton, otherwise known as Catherine, the Princess of Wales, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle once seemed to promise an exciting future for the monarchy and a chance to connect with the next generation. But after Harry and Meghan stepped down as senior royals and quit the UK in 2020, splitting from the foursome's joint charity to set up their own in the process, it is safe to say the relationship soured. The rift between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the royals has only grown deeper after the pair's ongoing revelations about the firm. This included claims during a bombshell chat with Oprah Winfrey in 2021 that the palace dismissed fears about Meghan's mental health, and Harry detailing arguments he and Meghan had with the now Prince and Princess of Wales in the controversial memoir Spare in 2023. Okay, I'm going to pause right here. You can see how Meghan is trying to backpedal out of this. No longer was the Oprah interview supposed to be about Archie's skin color. This was supposed to be all about Meghan's mental health. Remember, in the Netflix mockumentary, she had explained that she didn't think that the race topic was going to eclipse her mental health. And as you can see here, they're doubling down in People magazine in December of 2022, talking about it in order to get out of making that accusation. And you can see now in this article how they're subtly trying to move away from that. And if you notice, smack dab in the middle of this feature story are the disaster tourists. Anyway, I digress. However, it appears a reunion for the couples could now be on the cards, as William has declared that he and Kate hope to work overseas more this year after his wife's battle with cancer. Speaking towards the end of last year, he said, hopefully Catherine will be doing a bit more next year, so we'll have some more trips maybe lined up. A source tells Closer that at least one of those trips will see the future king and queen head stateside after applying for a trademark to launch their Royal Foundation charity in the U.S. And Kate continues to be hopeful that a visit to Harry's new homeland will give him and William a chance to put their grievances behind them once and for all. The source says it's still being discussed, but Kate is feeling a lot better and has said she'd love the chance to get over to America. As if Catherine would say that. But what's interesting here is them bringing up this trademark in the United States. We all know that Meghan was trying to file for her trademarks. Could this be Meghan's way of trying to sabotage that? I would not put anything past this woman at this point. Main mission She sees it as a rare chance to meet up with Harry and feels like it would be a great step towards making peace. Kate has been pushing for a reunion for the brothers, who reportedly avoided each other when they were last together at their Uncle Lord Robert Fellow's funeral in August. And the source adds that her main mission is to get them together this year. One of Kate's top goals for 2025 is to find a way to mend fences between William and Harry, so that is front and center on her mind whenever there's talk about going to America. She will be pushing for the brothers to have a sit-down if this trip happens. She's very single-minded about it. In her heart of hearts, Kate wants Harry to come back to the UK with them and end their feud with William and their father, King Charles. The source continues, although they haven't announced anything yet, William and Kate have made significant moves towards launching their Royal Foundation charity in America. The details are hush-hush, but by all accounts, it's something they're working on pretty intensely. You know Meghan's going to try and figure out a way to sabotage this. Naturally, people are speculating that this is all aimed at one-upping Meghan and Harry since they see America as their territory. But Kate and William are adamant that this is not the case. Expanding the royal family's charitable work on a more global scale and into America has long been talked about. This isn't coming out of nowhere. In fact, it is believed Kate hopes that this could send a different message to Harry and Meghan, who have been photographed volunteering in Los Angeles in the wake of the devastating wildfire. Of course, if William and Harry can patch things up, this means Kate will have to face a reunion of her own with Meghan, who has pushed back the release of her Netflix series to March due to the LA fires. As you can see, Meghan's using this as another chance to plug her stupid cooking show. The sisters-in-law have been known to have a frosty relationship, with Harry claiming Kate made Meghan cry in the lead-up to their wedding in 2018. The source says, Meghan. Kate is looking at this as a chance to have some common ground with Meghan and Harry. She feels that if any progress is going to be made, they need to get together face to face. Since Meghan has not got any plans to return to Britain, the only way that this is likely to happen is in America. You see how this is positioned? As if Catherine needs to bow to this witch and come here to America. No, if they really want to make amends with the family, that's on them. Catherine and William have no intention to come to America, nonetheless, to try and meet up with Harry and Meghan to sort this out. Oh God, no, they didn't do anything wrong. And that's the thing that these magazines don't seem to understand the people see. Nobody's buying this shit. And Meghan, get it through your head. Catherine doesn't want to be your friend. I am willing to bet that Catherine is just like the rest of us, waiting for that day for the divorce to finally be announced to get this witch out of their lives. But finishing up this article, it says here, if Harry and William can sit down together and make some progress, that will make it much easier for the four of them to eventually sit down and break bread. It's all about baby steps right now, but Kate is very keen to get the ball rolling. This wall of silence can only go on for so long, and after everything she went through last year, Kate's keenly aware of how precious life is. She doesn't want to hang on to bad blood, and she doesn't want William walking around with that weight on his shoulders either. She's desperate for them to reconnect and knows the only way that's really going to happen is if all four of them can make peace. Only in your nightmare, Meghan. This is never going to happen. I'm fully convinced that she is behind this article. You notice in this last paragraph the use of the word keen. Remember, in Omid Scobie's book, Endgame, they had put in some stupid blurb in there that Catherine was nicknamed Katie Keene. This is no accident, and I feel Meghan's tentacles all over this. Meghan Markle is literally the worst thing that happened to the royal family. Just like the Biden regime, we have yet to see the fallout of the damage that has been caused by this woman. True story. When you look at Meghan and Harry, they are the poster children for what the last 4 years were about. Unless these two are put behind bars, they're going to continue to keep on scheming and trying to cause chaos and division. And you see this type of sabotage happening with this magazine that Meghan loves to run to. So on the surface, it says William and Kate prepare for the throne. But looking at the article, they make William sound like this hot-headed, violent person. Let me read you some of that. When they talk about the path to the crown for William, it says, before he dons St. Edward's crown, however, William has some work to do, both in the firm and on himself. A day after Kate announced her remission news, William made headlines when he dropped into a pub in Birmingham, England, to enjoy a pint with some local soccer fans. But a second insider reveals he's hardly the relaxed and easygoing monarch in waiting fans want to see. He can be difficult, a senior palace staffer told royal expert Robert Jobson in 2023, explaining that William is a driven person, which can make him impatient. And then some. In his memoir, Spare, Harry included a memorable account of Willie arriving at his home in 2019, piping hot, criticizing the then newlywed's wife, Meghan, for being rude and physically attacking his brother. William has his father's temper, no doubt, and it's noticeable how much shorter his fuse is getting as he's stretched so thin and handed more responsibility. A second insider tells Star William can fly off the handle at the slightest little thing, and Kate worries how he'll cope when he's crowned king. I'm sure we can take a guess at who that second source is that told Star this information. Anyhow, especially since the crown will weigh heavy, with a 2024 poll showing the monarchy's popularity at an all-time low, William will need to work fast. Old messes include criticism by tenants of the Duchy of Cornwall estate who publicly accused Charles of being a slumlord. Money matters must also become transparent after Charles was accused of accepting literal bags of cash, three worth a total of almost $3 million, from a controversial Qatari politician, a major royal don't. This kind of scrutiny harms the monarchy, says the source, and William will be expected to clean it up. I just want to point out here that this is so typical of someone who is petty and jealous, like Meghan, to take these little digs at Catherine. So, of course, they're going to bring up being dubbed Weighty Katie. And what did Meghan say in the Oprah interview? Weighty Katie. But also, they bring up and raise the fact that she's a commoner. Never once do they talk about Meghan being this commoner. She's even lower than a commoner. But the fact that they're making it a point to say that, almost as if to bring Catherine down to Meghan's level. As it says here, despite George's new status as the Prince of Wales, the source says Kate, born a commoner, will break hundreds of years of royal tradition by keeping him and his siblings, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, in co-ed institutions rather than sending the future king to an elite all-boys boarding school. Kate wants them to have a normal childhood, enjoy school and time with friends, participate in sports and activities, says the source. With the last line in the article saying, William may have the blue blood that entitles him to the job, explains the source, but Kate is the glue that's keeping the monarchy together. As you can see, this article was so obnoxious, just like Meghan. But when it came down to talking about these two cloud-chasing goblins on their disaster tour, this is what they had to say. As wildfires burned homes and businesses across Los Angeles County during the second week of January, the Sussexes stepped up to help, opening their $14.6 million home in Montecito, California, to friends and gathering personal items, including their kids' old toys, to assist relief organizations. Meghan also announced Netflix was pushing back the debut of her entertaining series, With Love, Meghan, from January 15th to March 4th, as we focus on the needs of those impacted by the wildfires in my home state of California. Yet controversy erupted after the couple were photographed hugging victims in the flame-ravaged community of Pasadena, January 12th. Family Ties actress Justine Bateman slammed the royals on social media as disaster tourists and wannabe politicians who don't live there. Undeterred, Meghan was later seen dropping off bags of goods to the Altadena Girls Fire Recovery Fund in an Instagram video posted on January 13th. Meghan and Harry's Archewell Fugazi Public Charity has donated to the fire victims while her show is on hold. So what do you guys think? Do you think Meghan is behind this? I do. Star Magazine, as well as the rest of these tabloids this week, know Meghan doesn't sell magazines anymore. I don't envy Meghan Markle's PR team at all. When you have a client like Meghan Markle, who is constantly sabotaging herself on a daily basis, and you have to resort to manipulative tactics like this in these tabloid magazines, it says you don't have much to work with and you're getting desperate. This week honestly felt like there was a monumental shift, marking the end of an era characterized by corruption, deceit, and distress associated with the Biden regime. When we look at Meghan and Harry, they are the poster children of the past 4 years. Thankfully, with Donald Trump as our president, we have turned away from the malevolent intentions of globalist forces seeking to dominate our lives. Although their attempts persist, vigilance remains our duty. We must restore common sense and hold these two frauds, along with the architects behind this psyops, accountable for their actions. We cannot go back and allow these people to do what they did. I hope people understand how close we were to losing our freedom. Had this election gone the other way, it would have been over for America. Many see what's happening to the UK, and America was not far behind.
In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly.
The future looks bright. Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Such a fraud.